Hello, rail friends. Thanks for being with Casey and I. Jesse from Whistleboard Productions with us today. We're all hanging out in historic Stevenson, Alabama, in case you didn't know where that is. But we'll talk more about that. We have Horn Approach on CSX. And we are in pursuit of CSXT 911 today, the spirit of our first responders. But we believe there is a train in front of him. And yes, to reach you today, we had to come to you by satellite. Hello, Robert. Hello, Ravenhawk. He's on track 2. I think he's stopping. He'll probably let 155 pass. Really? That's not advantageous for our plan. Well, everybody, right there is our approaching CSX train. They're talking to 155.
We passed the camera 3 minutes ago.
Oh, he did?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the camera was lagging.
The camera what?
It was lagging.
Bet you're right, since he's an intermodal.
Yep. They'll be here in 10 minutes.
Thanks, Lucas. All right, as you guys can see, our current northbound has turned his running lights off, so he is going to wait for our train. He's going to wait for the 911 CSXT 911 to pass him. He is sitting on track 2, from my understanding. So it appears they're going to let 911 go around him here in Stevenson. So what does that mean for Jesse and I? Jesse's hanging out with me, and I'm hanging out with him. We're hanging out with each other here in historic Stevenson, Alabama. And that means the moment 911 goes past and his train is done, we will cut the live and we will travel to Cowan, Tennessee, in the Cumberland Plateau, and get set up expeditiously, and we hope we can get there in front of him, because he'll have to go up and over the mountain, and therefore the pushers will be waiting for him. Question mark, question mark. He passed Cowan already?
Yeah, Brian says Cowan just cleared.
Well, everybody, Jesse has the Cowan rail cam up. We're set up here in the park in Stevenson, and Jesse just told me we have a southbound CSX that just cleared the Cowan Railroad Museum rail cam. And Jesse says he looks long. And we know we have another CSX facing us that just is holding short of the 2 crossings. And we know I-155 is behind that train. So the question is, who's going first? That's a good question, because I don't know the answer, but if you guys want to speculate, Jesse and I will write down everybody's answers, and we're going to see who's right. So just to recap, we do have a southbound CSX that has passed the cam in Cowan. We have the first CSX that is holding behind us, and we have I-155 with the CSXT 911 behind him that has already passed the Bridgeport cam. So that's 2 past the Bridgeport cam coming at us, 1 past Cowan coming at us. Stevenson, not exactly in the middle, but where we are. So there could be all kinds of things going on. Jesse said we can speculate our first CSX train coming from Cowan takes off on the right side tracks, because it is double tracked right past the crossing here. And then our 2 northbounds would take off and go. So that's a possibility. Or they could be holding, don't know. There's all kinds of options here. But if anybody's got any ideas or anybody has any insights, please share it with them. We've got the monitor on. We're here. And we appear to be at Train Central. And just in case, there's a couple things we're going to pack. So if, for some reason, 911, which is an intermodal, gets to go past everybody or around, we'll be ready to jump and go. We do have signals here in front of us. There is the CSX, and over there are the NS signals. So it's a perfect day for rail fanning, and it is a perfect day for a 3-train meetup in Stevenson.
Alright. The signals down there are all red.
So everybody's ready.
Yes.
Well, he goes green here. Or can you see if the other one's behind him, or him driving further back?
Oh, he'd be way farther back.
Very intriguing. Pardon?
That signal is still red. Everybody's got red signals.
Jesse's got the drone up and about. There's the little fellow right. Whoa, he's there. Hang on, I'll find him. Let me find the truck. There he is. What's his name?
Snoopy.
Snoopy. There's Snoopy. Snoopy is landing on the truck, production unit 6. And Jesse just confirmed we have red on the northbound signals, and we have red on the southbound signals. At this point on the joint line, which is there in front of you, it's considered north-south traffic.
Well, this gives us time for our light situation to improve. We can be out relatively fast.
Cake is melting, so we're good.
Did you get a frozen cake?
They had like 7 cakes in the whole store. 4 of them were pound cakes. Tony, if you're listening, yes, we are discussing the cake for tonight's dinner at the Mexican restaurant. Eugene, how's everything in Virginia today, sir? Lucas, you out trackside today? Well, Ravenhawk, 2 out of 3 is pretty good track record. Robert, glad to see you're up and about with us today. I hope you're feeling fantastic. Everybody, as we await to see how this 3-train meetup is going to work out. And with the sun blaring on that top signal tower, well, actually both of them, it is super hard to tell what any color is on them. As we await, as you all know from Lucas, I-155 cleared Bridgeport some time ago, and the fact that he's not here makes one want to believe that maybe our current southbound train is going to pass both of them. It's not every day we get 3 trains in Stevenson. And obviously if there's an NS train, you're gonna have to wait. The mere fact that he isn't here makes me think that he's waiting too. He could have been here by now. Is it? 155 could have been here. Aisle 25.
Turn around. Wow, it got here quick.
Key word of the day, quick. Well, there's a surprise. We'll talk about that after bed. There's a big dent. You're not kidding, John. Wave hi to everybody that lives here in Alabama, you guys.
They're all showing up at once because they have to wait for a train.
We have officially collected more than 9 cars at one time here in Alabama.
You're looking at probably about 30 minutes of traffic in 5 minutes.
That's a whole day's worth. As our southbound NS train heads out of Stevenson. And taking the dog for the walk. Dog doesn't look very excited, but he went along anyhow. All right, everybody.
Yep, that's confirmed. We got a winner.
Red, green.
Winner. Want me to explain? You got it.
Hey, guess what? I was just about to go through this whole scenario, but Jesse just pointed out, and I think we now have an answer to the scenario. And Don, I tell you what, your comment absolutely was the best one, because Jesse and I said, whoa, how fast did that CSX train get here from Cowan? And boom, it's NS. So John, you're right. What a surprise. Here's Jesse, and he's about to fill you in.
All right, so as Mike was saying earlier, we had IO25 on the Cowan camera, and unless it had done 70 miles an hour the whole way
Downhill.
downhill, there's no way that that horn we heard could be IO25. But now that we have the NS train clear on this signal mast right here closest to us, we have a lunar. So if you don't know what a lunar is a white signal, and there's the two sets of signals. The upper one is red, but the bottom one that has the 4 lights, it's green, yellow, white, red. We currently have a red over white, which is a lunar. So what they're going to do is our southbound from Cowan, which is IO25, is going to go in behind the NS train that just went past. So what they're pretty much saying is you're going to stop at the next signal, but you'll be following something else. This happens down at Tunnel Hill a lot. I've seen the lunar several times down there where they'll put 2 trains in a siding together and what have you. So we're pretty sure the order of operations is IO25 coming south from Cowan. Next we'll have, this is M216 that's sitting right down here in front of us. And then I-155 is behind M216. So the lineup is IO25, M216, and then I-155. That's the plan, so we think. But at this point, Mike, we've been surprised enough today.
Boy, have we ever. Did not see that one coming to the party.
That was a bonus train.
Let's see if maybe we can get this lunar white.
You can see it from here.
Jesse said if we move locations, we'll see it. So field trip, everybody.
Yep, right about here.
Sorry there for the jiggles and wiggles.
Yep, there it is. That's it lit up right there.
It's like a great big alien eye.
Yeah.
And there is a green that's on above it, correct?
No.
No?
Nope.
So it's just the white.
Correct.
All right,
The
here,
red
that's
is
a
on
little
all the way
better.
up top.
Looked like the red one was on for a little bit. All right. Like I said, the sun is right on that, but Jesse's right. The only red we have is up on the top, which you can kind of just barely see. And then on the bottom 4, as he was just talking, there is your lunar white. Now, all we need is ET. And we have a lunar event. Oh, look at that. Did y'all see those changes?
Oh, that was cool.
Now, silly me didn't have the top one on at that moment. So we have now gone to amber on top to red on the bottom. We lost our lunar.
Which that goes.
Sure, absolutely. Go in the front if you want.
I'll just go right here. So what we're pretty much witnessing is this signal is it's probably a combination of automatic clock signal as well as a control point signal. So the NS train has moved far, no longer triggering the lunar, but instead it's triggering an approach for IO25 because they're saying, hey, you've got enough room, go ahead and come on in, but still you're not good to go all the way up yet, still proceed with caution. So give it a bit more time, and we can actually keep it right here. We'll watch the top one go green, and then when the top one goes green, that means that he's good to go at track speed through here up until he meets his next signal. But he could come through on the approach, and at that point he'll have to go slower. So we'll see if it goes green, but it might stay amber. But I'm thinking that with as far out as it is, we'll probably get to watch it go green.
And just because I don't want to lose the moment of watching all that happen, I'm just going to leave you right there. I think we're okay with the radiant sun. I think we're all right. That we won't overheat on today's event, because that would not be good news.
Well, it just happened. I went over there and looked, and I'm like, the red one isn't lit up anymore. Oh, wait. The white one's lit up. I altered your notes to 155 instead of 115.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what happens when you have a bad memory. What?
There was a bug going on.
Oh, thought you were laughing at my program here.
No. I 100% understand.
We're talking the fact that I'm holding a sign over the top of the camera just in case the radiant heat was to cause us an issue.
We'll take shifts, Mike. We'll go back and forth. Whenever you start to lose feeling in your hands, I'll take over for a while.
As the people go by and stare at us like, look at those two. What are they doing? But we're going to stay out here in the sun until you guys get to see that go green. And then we'll move back in the shade where we were.
Because that would be really neat to get to see the signal changing all 2 times.
Yeah, and unfortunately when that happened a moment ago, I had it on the bottom one. I didn't have it on both.
Oh.
So I missed the moment. We won't get that education twice. We're just going to keep them on both now.
There you go.
I was so concentrated on our white signal.
Well, if there was one to be focused on, the white one was the one to be. It's a pretty red Charger. That thing's clean.
I can show you all the Charger, but again, I know from experience, the moment I switch and I move this camera, we're going to miss our green. So we're staying right there.
There are some things in the rail fanning world that are just guarantees. That's one of them.
John, I think if we were going to vote on comment of the day, you have it. What a surprise that was. And from where we were standing, you can't see the signals over there on the other side on the Memphis East End track for NS. So it was a great surprise, and we'll take it. John, if we were passing out gold stars today, you get one. So that means we have two CSX trains facing us here in Stevenson. And one on its way. And Cowan to here is an hour. Generally. And if anybody was wondering, are the mosquitoes gone? The answer is no. Are the gnats gone in Stevenson? The answer is no. And yes, the flies are here too. Oh, now we got red over red.
Okay. See, like we said, surprise after surprise. I'm flying the drone to check the other signals now.
Well, you all saw it. We went from amber to red over red. We know I-155 is behind our train that's sitting down there. But we're going to stay on the signal so y'all get to see them change if they're going to change. Hello, Vince. Right now, looks like we've got them lined up to come to Cowan, but they're not coming to visit yet. We think IO25 that you all sent our way from Cowan that we saw on your cam. Well, we were, and then they went red over red on what we thought was going to be the arrival of IO25. Hey, kid outdoors. Mama bear off work yet? Well, Vince, that's one of the main reasons, one of the three reasons that we were coming to Cowan. Mexican food for dinner, Tony to fly, and for Brian to tell us all about the upcoming festival and the upcoming Railfan Day there in Cowan. But at the moment, we're just kind of waiting to see what's next. Maybe I should put the Bridgeport scanner back on. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and move out of the sun. Vince, I like your thinking. I agree totally with you. Nothing better than food, fun, and friends. I think we'll still be able to see it. Look, there's Snoopy. Snoopy's spinning. Now Snoopy's looking at us. And in case y'all didn't know, there is a rail cam at the Cowan Railroad Museum, and there is a rail cam at Bridgeport. Iron Horse rail cams. So if you've not checked those out, no better time than the present. And we, while we're sitting here waiting to see what the next surprise is going to be, we're going to go ahead and pull up the Bridgeport cam and hear what's going on. We do have the scanner on, but we haven't heard any news there. If anybody has any questions about the Bridgeport cam, Vince is on and he can answer any question you have about all the Iron Horse cams. And we still have red over red. And if you guys have not watched the Cowan Railroad cam at night, man, what a beautiful town Brian has there. It's at the Cowan Railroad Museum, and it is just a beautiful setup. As we wait to see the outcome of all this, all right, we do have the Bridgeport rail cam up, so we'll listen to that scanner there. Well, something crossed the defect detector at the 116.
is right down there.
4 miles out. It's 4 miles from here. Because we're at 112.
Right. that be our intermodal that we just went that way?
I think he'd be further past
Farther
than
than
that.
that.
But we still got red over there on the far side.
Yeah.
While we're waiting to see how this does unfold, that is Kentucky Avenue, Route 117 right there as you see those cars go across. And believe it or not, one of the two crossings here in downtown Stevenson, and it does not have gates. Craziness. There's Jesse studying the situation. And here is one of the coolest places, I think, right there. You guys all think back. And by the way, at Christmas time, that is all decorated by Tate's uncle. Tate lives here in Stevenson, and his uncle decorates the depot every year for Christmas. And you're right, that is a hotel and depot, two-story depot combination. Hotel on the back with 6 windows. So 12 rooms upstairs. The Norfolk Southern track is on the left side, where we just saw our last train. And the CSX track, the well, no, it's not the W&A here anymore. What is it called here once it goes, Jesse?
Right here, this is the Chattanooga side.
Still on this one. All right, it stays the Chattanooga sub on the right-hand side of the depot for CSX.
Left-hand side is the Memphis East end for NS.
And we are close to the Widows Creek CSX yard, where the Widows Creek station is. Also here in case y'all didn't know it, in historic Stevenson, is Fort Harker and the TWA 800 Memorial, both close by. So if you've never been to Stevenson, you need to come explore it. It's historic, it's beautiful, and it is peaceful. You do not have to worry about lots of traffic in downtown. And the Stevenson Railroad Depot that's there in front of you was originally built in 1853, and it was then rebuilt in 1872 for the Nashville and Chattanooga Railroad and the Memphis and Charleston Railroad. And as you heard Jesse saying, this is where you can go on to Memphis, over there on the Memphis East End line, or on up to Collin and Nashville. NS will take you on over to Huntsville and then to Decatur, where I hope we may travel to this coming weekend. Don't know yet for sure. And we are here on the Chattanooga subline, closest to us at milepost 112.6. The Memphis District East End milepost here is 280.0. Anybody know how many residents there are in Stevenson? As of the census in 2023, if you guessed 1,973, you know how many people live here. And back in 1852 and 1853, when this all started, the Nashville and Chattanooga Railroad and the Memphis and Charleston Railroad were those that served this area.
The same day as the big dance. Classic.
And there's a commercial on our Bridgeport cam. We're still a standoff. Someplace that way is I-25. And this whole stretch that you see is a great big city park. Beautiful trees, plenty of shade. There's a pavilion, seating, all kinds of things. Just an excellent, excellent spot to railfan. You've got the signals, so you can have an idea what's coming. And just think back into the 1800s, where if you'd have been asleep in that hotel, those tracks are closer in reality than what they even look from here. And let me tell you, when a train goes through there, the safety line is about 4 feet back, and the building's about 6 feet back from that. So, you better work on skinny mini if you're standing between the track and the buildings. And the sign here talks about, the joke was when the train went through, it would pull the covers right off the bed while you were sleeping. And in the display yard, the old L&N caboose. And the yard switcher.
Coal train. Hear the horn?
So all this is holding
Everything's coming to a stop.
because of an NS train. No. Well, we do have another horn, I believe, unless Jesse and I are hearing things. You heard it, right?
Yeah.
All right, we heard another horn, you guys.
This is wild.
So where earlier we thought I-25 was coming through, the approach signals went back to red. And over there, you can just, if you stand over here to my right a little bit, there is still a red signal on the NS Memphis East tower. So potentially, we have a 4-train meetup. And here in Stevenson, because we know I-25 is coming from behind us, and if we have another horn, we'll have to see if it's an NS horn or a CSX horn, as I-25 could be rolling into town. That almost sounds like the CSX track.
I'm pretty sure it is.
So
He
maybe,
said CSXC something or whatever.
well, everybody, right now we are red signals. This is craziness. This is railfan fun at its best. There's Because there's no doubt we heard horn.
We get that Burger King. I know. I'm paying for it now. It could be the lunar's lit up and we just can't see it with the sun.
Well, we got lots of red.
Because he's throttling up. There he is.
34.
See what he does.
So we got after and we got permission to proceed past that at Stevenson from the Dolo J10. The southward direction. Sorry, motor. Yeah, looking out for track next minute.
They are advising him he's going to go through the red. They are advising he is going to proceed through the red with caution and to watch.
Out 13, CSX 3034, that's south end Stevenson. Single main, number 1, southbound direction. 1757 J. And now track conditions ahead. Permission. South end Episode. Main, number 1, direction 1757 JTE. Look. Track conditions ahead.
Boy, does he have a shadow on his nose. NS train just cleared through Bridgeport. Just
Might
now.
have had to do the bridge. Shoot.
Yeah, he's just now clearing Bridgeport.
Right there he is. Oh yeah, sure enough. Wow. It amazes me how long it is. It's like 2.5 miles of train.
They haven't seen me go by yet.
We saw it on the camera.
We were just discussing this is a massive, massively long train. We watched him. Actually, Jesse did because I was busy trying to find me a satellite. And he said this thing is just humongous. I have no idea how long humongous is, but I can tell you it's probably about as long as the speed limit section that Stevenson has
So
out on 72.
So this train, usually in previous times, I've seen it anywhere from 10,000 to 13,000 feet. So if we were to assume that this train is 13,000 feet, that's 2.42 miles of train. So that's just under 2.5 miles of railroad cars.
Ay, ay, ay. Glad I don't have to wash them.
That's a fact.
Good thing we charged the batteries before we got to Stevenson. Whoa, what an interesting set of events here. CSX trains holding everywhere. We'll talk more about that. Let's enjoy our passing train.
That's crazy.
He had authorization. They had a whole long conversation about it. And he advised him, he went to channel 66, advised him to watch for traffic ahead, watch this, watch that. I wonder if maybe the other train's too close. Always on a different track.
One thing's for sure. Cowan is going to be perfect.
Good thing we had this on the agenda to do.
I know. Just think if we got all the way to Cowan.
It's a good thing we decided to go to chase after Savannah and Atlanta,
Right.
or we would have had some poor timing.
I think we done well today, all things considered. But all things, there are lots of things.
The fact your drone's still flying is
I
all
know.
things considered.
Hey, it's been useful too to look at signals. Schneider.
How tomorrow moves, CSX Intermodal. Well, John, we don't have to look for the new camera anymore in the containers. It is now here in Chattanooga. Thermal King car. Nice and cool in there. Well, I wish I would have counted how many cars I need a calculator. Here in Stevenson, Alabama. We have moved from 2 toppers to a couple singles. Here comes those priority UPS trailers. For those of you that just joined, yes, this is still all IO25. He has got to be over 2 miles long. Oh, check the guy out. Tote Maritime. There's a Thermal King. Hear it running? There's several of them. Here comes Christmas! Whoever said rail fanning is boring has not hung out with Jesse and I, because we're having an incredible event here. Holy smokes. And as y'all listened, on the scanners, both of them, Iron Horse cam scanner on the Bridgeport cam and the scanner we've got here, you all saw where those lights went red after we had the lunar and then the amber, and then they went red. IO25 arrived. He got authorization to pass those lights. They had several conversations, switched channels, had some more conversation. You can hear parts of it on the two scanners. and they gave him authorization to proceed past the red signals here in Stevenson, Alabama, and to proceed on to watch for his traffic going forward, but they permitted him with special authorization to proceed on red because they believe, the way the dispatcher was talking, something's up with the signal here. So, we know both the trains, 2 more CSX are waiting.
This print prints everything to get your brand in front of your fans, like t-shirts, water bottles, and totes, so everyone can gift it.
So, M216 is the train that's holding about 3 blocks, 4 blocks down. There's Kentucky Avenue, and there's another crossing, and it has gates. It's just a small crossing. It has gates. M216, it sounds like he's powering up. There's our double honk, M216 coming our way.
As soon as you did, he hit it one more
Let
time.
me have it.
I'm like, ooh, that hurt.
M216 on approach to us right here, right now at Kentucky Avenue where there are no gates. Hurry, white car, because I can see you're not going to stop. I'm not saying a word.
When I start going nuts, it's because there's a red nose down there.
And we haven't even got to the exciting part yet.
What are you talking about? The whole thing's been the exciting part.
Hey, Vince. Yes, it has been crazy cool here. We moved just a little bit so we can get a little more sunlight. All right. There's M216 on his way to you guys. There goes Snoopy overhead, y'all just heard. Jesse's up in the air looking for the red nose. And no, it's not a reindeer. It is the spirit of our first responders, the 911 CSX locomotive on I-155. So Vince, how cool was that? We all got to watch that last CSX train, I-025. Who knows how many miles he was. He is gotta be a 2.5 mile train. Oh my gosh, that's just crazy.
155 has a lunar.
155 has a lunar. Why would it be? Oh, because you're down there looking.
Down there, yeah.
All right, Snoopy, our drone, piloted by Jesse, has confirmed we have another lunar. CSX uses those. So, train 1, I-155, is just down that track. He has a lunar, and that means won't be long we'll be seeing him. And that means the moment.
I see his headlight.
And Jesse's found his headlight. Snoopy and Jesse, we'll just call them Snoopy 1 and Snoopy 2, have found the headlight on I-155 just down the way here in Stevenson, you guys. Are you all ready? Oh man, how cool is this, you guys? CSXT 911 just down the tracks where we have watched a 4-train, and this will make it a 5-train meetup here in Stevenson on the Memphis East District, the Chattanooga subline. Oh, how cool is all of this? If you all are excited, I'll be excited for you and me. We've got Headlight, we've got CSXT 911, we've got Kentucky Avenue, we've got it all. The only thing we're missing is a parade. All right, everybody, and the second this train is passed, we're going to film it until he's passed, but the moment he's passed, we are going to do what is called Bail Bob Bail. And that means everybody pack because we are going to roll. And our next stop for our next Trackside Live will be in Cowan, Tennessee with Brian and Vince up there, Iron Horse cams. And check out the Cowan cam. What a beautiful city. Brian on the board of the Railroad Museum there. If you want to see a beautiful railroad museum, go back and look at about a year ago the podcast that Brian and Casey did together. That was there at the depot. It is an incredible depot. And on top of all that, there's even an extra bonus because Tony is gonna fly. Hopefully we can get there before it's dark. Tony's got 2 different planes he's going to fly for us today. And then after all that, it's Mexican food with cake. And yes, the cake is on board. Holy smokes. Train Up Productions. If you've not checked out his videos, do so. Sunday night on the Catch of the Week, one of his pictures out in Arkansas from his recent trip was one of our featured catches. So make sure you check out Catch of the Week. Casey and I go live every Sunday at 5:30 from the studio with all your submissions for the week. And Brian's was one of the 9 picked this past week, and it came out on a short. So check out the short, check out Catch of the Week. That is, I don't know, our 12th, 13th one. There's a whole bunch of them on railmoments.com. And submit your catch of the week. There's been all kinds of stuff through town this week. Submit your catch of the week to railmoments.com. Stills, just drop them in like a mailbox. Videos up to 30 seconds, but no music. Copyrighted music causes all kinds of problems for Casey. All right, let's listen for the horn on I-155. And like I said, the second this train is past us, we will be packed and rolling on our way up to Cowan.
I hear a horn.
All right, Jesse says we got horn. You still got something down there too?
Yes.
So you're going to run again?
Yes.
You're amazing.
I know. I like to keep you on your toes.
Make me tired just thinking about it. Get off the track, fool! I-155 is on approach here in Stevenson, historic Stevenson, Alabama. We can hear his horn. We're gonna go quiet. Jesse for Whistleboard Productions is set up. Brian with Train Nut Productions is watching from Colin, where we're gonna go next. Y'all gonna meet Brian if you haven't already. Check out Train Nut Production. Check out Iron Horse Rail Cams. Check out Rail Moments Rail Cam. All right, everybody, let's listen. Am I excited? Yes. Here we go. Okay, everybody, from historic Stevenson, Alabama, off to Cowan, Tennessee we go. We'll see you at the next crossing, because it is time for Bob to bail. So bail, Bob, bail, as we jump into production 6 and make our way to Cowan. See y'all there, trackside.